fitness freaks, and welcome to another workout. This is part 2 of my back flexibility for beginners series. But yeah, if you do this as a first video, doesn't matter, you can start with any of those videos. They're all just for beginners to improve their back flexibility. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start here in a high plank where our wrists are underneath our shoulders. Our bum is not somewhere up here, nor is it down here, right? Everything is nice and engaged, bum, abs, arms, everything. Because in this part, we're also going to do some strength exercises because when improving back flexibility, it's also very important to have a strong back, right? So that we don't hurt ourselves, don't injure ourselves. So we're gonna work on that too. So now, from that nice plank here, we're gonna shift into a down dog, where we first try to align our arms with our back, right? And then trying to get those legs straight and maybe even those heels to the floor. That would be the ideal pose, but if you don't get the heels all the way down to the floor, doesn't matter, just think about it. Just think about getting them there. And now let's shift back into that plank and back into the down dog. So here we're shifting through those two moves, strengthening our upper back or abs, and yeah, or bum also. It's a full body workout or full body exercise. And a few more. And also some kind of slow warm up, right? And up and down. And down dog, and the plank. Now let's stay in that down dog for a moment. Now really think about getting those heels down, right? Up and down, up and down. And maybe with each time that you're trying to bring them down, you get them closer to the ground or even onto the ground, right? Up and up. And let's stay here for a few more moments. And now back into that plank, holding it. Hold, hold, hold. And then down with our knees, untuck your toes. Now we're in a Cobra pose. Oh, that even rhymes. Untuck your toes. Now we're in a Cobra pose. So in that Cobra pose, our wrists are still underneath our shoulders, shoulders away from ears, long, elegant, nice neck. If you already have a good back flexibility, maybe your hips are even closer to the ground, maybe they're not. Wherever you are, that's fine. Just make sure to not slouch here. This is very unhealthy, right? Shoulders down, away from ears. Feeling a nice stretch. Push into the mat, push your back. Feeling that your back is compressing there. But don't push too hard. Don't hurt yourself, right? We should work on that bit by bit, just bit by bit, not injuring ourselves. It's a slow process, right? If we do it right. So yeah, take your time. Don't rush it. Now, tuck your toes back into the plank, into the down dog, and all the way back into the Cobra. Stay here for a second or two or three, and then tuck your toes again and back up into the down dog and back into the Cobra. Once more, tuck those toes, up, down dog, and the Cobra. bend one leg, right? And look over the opposite shoulder. Switch sides. First side again. And other side again. And down. And now back into the child's pose to compensate and to let go of all that tension and all that compression in the lower back. We're gonna come back into the Cobra pose later on, but for the moment, our wrists get a little rest. So rotate them into one direction and then to the other. Shake him out, and then come onto your belly. Arms in front of you, palms facing each other, legs straight, and then you can rest your forehead on the mat, right? And we're gonna lift those arms up like this, pulsing them up, right? This is gonna be it. I'm gonna put my forehead onto the mat. I hope the mic sound won't be too weird because the mat is so close, the mic is so close, and then it sometimes sounds weird, so sorry for that. So rest your forehead on the mat, arms up, and pulse them up. Teeny tiny pulses. Don't forget to breathe. The tops of your feet are firmly planted into the floor. And up, up. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Up here for a moment and breathe. And then let's come down again, and this time our palms are facing down towards the mat or the floor, right? And we're gonna do the same thing basically. Up and down. Lifting those arms. Strengthening our back. I know it's not really hard, but we're using those little muscles there that we don't use so much. And it shouldn't feel too easy actually. Up and up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, right? Elbows underneath your shoulders. Ears away from shoulders still. This is kind of a modified Cobra pose, a swings pose, however you want to call it. We press our hips, firmly into the mat, like not like this, right? Press them into the mat. Maybe you have to fold your mat if it's, the mat is too hard or the floor is too hard. And feel how your lower back is compressing, how you push back here. And now, if you want to, let's come up into like a full modified Cobra pose. So you press your palms into the mat, you press your elbows kind of together so they don't flare out, right? Not like this, press them together to get up here into that modified Cobra pose. And hold it. And back down. Stay down here for a few breaths. And then push those palms into the mat again, elbows in and up. And down. And we're going to do that once more, and then we're also going to bend our legs. So Let's push up here, palms into the mat, elbows in, up. And now bend those legs too to intensify that compression of the back. Looking up, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. You can come all the way down for a moment. Into a child's pose again. The child's pose is always very nice. To compensate, you can move your hips from side to side a bit here. And then come up into tabletop position, right? Knees underneath the hips, wrist underneath the shoulders. And here we do some cat-cows, but we don't have to like think about the breathing too much, right? Because technically you would be inhale when you do the cow, arch your back, look up, inhale. And when you exhale, you come into the cat, making a round back. But yeah, you can stay for a few breaths just in the cat or in the cow. It's totally up to you. Right now, let's stay a bit maybe here in that cat, pushing up, pulling up, and into the cow, arching that back, looking up, holding it. People that are super flexible, they can almost touch their head to their bum in that pose. As you can see, I'm not one of those people. And back to the cat. Feels so good. And the cow. From here, let's come into the puppy pose. So we bring our hands a bit wide, a bit more out to the front. Our bum stays up here, right? And our arms and our chest goes down as close as we can to the floor. So we feel a nice stretch in your back and your shoulders. And come up again. You can do this stretch, kind of this stretch, also against the wall. So you could be putting your hands here on the wall, and then you could bring your arms, your chest close to it, like that. Also a good way to stretch your shoulders. And our back. So, let's shake out those hands again. And now we come back onto belly, hands again underneath the shoulders, pressing up into that cobra again, right? A lot of cobraing today. Remind yourself, shoulders away from ears, shoulders down. And now again, what we did before, we bend one leg and look over the opposite shoulder. And the other leg. Let's switch sides again. And again. Down, push back, push your back further back, and lift both legs, holding it. Think about getting your head close to your feet. Doesn't matter if you actually get it close or not. Oh, I'm advancing here. And let go. And into child's pose. Oh, that feels so good. Oh, yes. onto our bellies again. We could rest our hand on our hands here. Doesn't really matter. We're going to train our lower back and our bum a little bit before we do the last stretch. So what we're going to do now is we're simply going to lift those legs off the floor. Up. I gotta move to the front a bit just to not hit the mirror. Up and up, right? If this hurts your pelvis, then put something underneath, a cushion, a couch cushion, a blanket, fold your mat. Up. Think about lifting with the bum and the lower back when doing that. It's very important to strengthen our back when we work on our back flexibility. I already said that in the beginning of the workout, but I will repeat it more times throughout this series because it is something that we really have to take care of and that we really have to do. Because if you just work on the flexibility without training the muscles, without like supporting your back, you will eventually hurt it. So it's important to do strength work as well. Up. Let's do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Down. Wiggle a bit to let go. And now we're gonna do a bridge. Maybe you remember how to do that from the last workout, from the last stretching session. Maybe you didn't do it, or maybe you just don't remember. Yeah, I'm gonna explain again. So you come onto your back here, feet about hip distance apart for the moment, your hands next to your ears, fingers pointing towards your feet. And if you are more of a beginner, then you might just want to, like, first of all, lift those glutes, kind of like in a glute bridge. You could hold that, right? The glute bridge is also a good thing to train your glutes, which is also something that helps your back, right? But yeah, this is another story. And you press up here. And if you're a beginner, you might just want to come onto your head. So you come here, which is also fine. Or try and go up all the way. And then we want to try to straighten our legs, because with straight legs we're actually stretching that lower back. There's no point in like being in a tabletop position like this. We want to straighten those legs. So straighten them and bend, and straighten and bend. And it's totally fine if you have to work further out with your feet or a bit in will be even better. But if you have to walk out to get those legs straight, this is totally fine. Stretching through your back, through your shoulders. And let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly down. Wiggle a bit. We made it through this second part of the second video of back flexibility. Maybe it was your first, maybe it was your third or your 10th or whatever. Yeah, I hope you did like it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and maybe a thumbs up. Sorry, I cannot talk sometimes. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Leave a comment maybe, and yeah, I hope I see you next time for the next workout. Bye bye, and thank you for working out with me.